Hello, it's Kerry from the Simply Pretty Studio. Thank you for joining me today. We are on the second part of my Warm Hugs class in the post. Last time you joined me on the video to create this card, and now today we're going to do the second card, and then there are two further videos to go with this to create the two 3D projects. So you need to pull out your kit for this card. Let's pop that to one side. I'll move these inks to one side for now. So I'm using the Warm Hugs stamp set and also some of the dies from the coordinating die set that goes with it, which, let me just check, is called the Warm Wraps dies. Okay, so these are designed to wrap around the coffee cups that are also available in this suite. So I've mounted up my stamps ready. Let's put those to one side. So you need to pull out your kit. Let's start with the base. So we're just going to fold this one in half. Like that. Pop that to one side. I think we'll start with stamping. As usual, I like to get all my stamping done, get the die cutting done, and then I've got all my elements ready to put my card together. So we'll start off with these pieces. Now, for those of you that have ordered just the kits on their own, I have included die cuts, but obviously nothing is stamped for you. So you're going to need to find something else to substitute these layers. I believe I've given you these in various different colours, so hopefully you'll be able to put something together with them. So I've got my Warm Hugs to You stamp here, and I'm using Real Red ink and Mossy Meadow. So let's just ink this one. I've got a bigger piece. Nope. Should be able to get them both out of this one, we'll see. That wasn't the best of stamping, but we'll go with it. I did have another piece of scrap. Let's just see if this other one will fit. It's going to be tight, but it will fit. So I'll put my Real Red to one side, and now we're going to have the Mossy Meadow. And we're going to use this ornate, like, border stamp that works with a die. We'll pop that one on there, like that. And then I'm just going to take another scrap of card, and I'm going to ink up the little tree and stamp that one down as well. Move you out of the way. And then I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. So we could have a bit of a wobble on the table here while I do this, and I have zoomed in quite a bit, so hopefully you're going to be able to see this properly. Let's get my layers, and we'll start off with the die cutting, and then we've got a bit of embossing to do as well. You've already got an embossed layer, but I'm going to show you how we do it in the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So for die cutting, you need your base plate number 1, plate number 2, and then number 3 on the bottom. And then of course we have another number 3, which I'm using as my top plate. So let's lay these down on and take the corresponding dies from my sheet and line them in. Now I do not have, not sure if I'm going to be able to do these two together, they may be too close. Let's have a quick look. Don't think I'm going to get away with that. I'm going to do that one after. We do have a magnetic plate that is available to purchase, but I don't have it yet, and I'm placing an order today, so it could well be going on my list of things that I need, because using these fiddly small little dies can be tricky without a magnetic plate and without actually, let's move that a bit, without taping them down with washi tape. That will be okay. Right, let's pop this top plate on, hopefully without moving anything. And then just run this through. We are going to get a bit of a wobble. Can't do anything about the wobble, I don't think. I may seek advice on that. So let's just pop that over there for now. And then we'll cut this Warm Hugs circle, or polo I like to call it. Let's cut this one out, line that in. I stamped that a bit heavy on one side. Right, in we go, don't move. That's it. Hold this as steady as I can without a wobble. It's like a mission impossible getting it not to wobble. Pop that one over there and put the die back so it doesn't get lost. And before I put my cutting machine away, I'm going to take out plate number 2. Take this smaller white layer and I'm going to emboss it using one of the wrapped in texture embossing folders. You know I'm always harping on about these, how much I love these smaller embossing folders. Of course they're designed to work with the new mini cutting machine that will be coming hopefully in the not too distant future. Right, wobble wobble. Let's just move that out of the way. Take out a lovely embossed layer. And put you to one side as well because we don't need you. Right, let's bring everything back that we need. We've got some die cut pieces in our base layer. And we'll leave our insert to one side for the moment. So we've got a piece of DSP. This is from the Heartwarming Hugs paper pack. I actually love the colours that are in here. Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz and Real Red. Very Christmassy of course, but I do feel that there are a lot of patterns in this pack that could be used for non-Christmas projects as well, which is really clever. So what is not so clever that I've just realised this piece here, I needed to cut this label, which is from the Tasteful Labels die set. So I'm just going to turn my back to my machine rather than bringing it back in and creating another wobble, and quickly just cut one of these out of shot. So do excuse me while I do that. There, we don't want any more wobbles, do we? There we go. Put that die to one side. Okay, let's start with sticking some pieces down. So you have, so we're going landscape with this card. You've got a layer of Pear Pizzazz. So let's pop some glue on the back of here and lay this one down first. Okay, tumble on the fingers already. Not a good start. Right there, look. Okay, and then next I'm going to pop on this piece of DSP. Now obviously you have this in your kit, so feel free to choose whichever side of the DSP that you like the best. So we're just going to add that one in and give it a press. And then my next layer is the embossed piece. So, and I've actually popped this on dimensionals. Hope you can see that, but you can keep it as flat as you like in preparation for posting out nearer Christmas. Dare I say that word? I know, as crafters we have to start early, don't we? Because otherwise we just get all behind and then in a fluster. So pop in lots of dimensionals on this layer. Take the backing off. The more dimensionals the better really, because it will keep it from kind of sagging in areas and give you a nice layer that's going to stay upright. So we're just going to pop this one down here, roughly like that. There we go. Next, you've got a strip of real red cardstock. So on one end, we're just going to snip the corner off and then lay it down and decide how long you want it to be, because I've not cut it to any particular length for you. So mine is going to be like that. And then I can now stick this down. So a bit of Tombow on the back. And we'll pop that one here. So I was doing a live this morning. I was just explaining about when you've got an embossed layer, and obviously when you're sticking something down on a flat piece of cardstock, you don't need to apply too much pressure sticking it down. But I always think when you've got an embossed layer, it's always good to add a bit of extra glue and give it a good firm press down so that it is hitting both surfaces and you know it's going to stay there and not fall off. So is that straight? I think it is. Next is my little label. Bit of Tombow on the back of here. So this is quite a quick card. Nothing too taxing on the brain. Pop that one down there. Like that. Good firm press. And then I'm just going to build these pieces up separately. So I've popped some mini dimensionals on the back of the polo greeting, which stick into me now. I'm going to put 3 on there just to balance it. And then I'm going to add this onto my little label here. Let's have it so we've got 2 straight edges at the top. And try and have that centrally. Central would be a better word maybe. Like that, which isn't very central. I'm going to pull it up because it will come up. And did you know that with our dimensionals, if it sticks then it pulls away the paper and then your dimensional is not very sticky. If you actually take a rubber, you can rub the whole dimensional off and start again. So let's see if that's more central. That's a bit better. Okay, now I'm going to pop some Tombow on the back of here. Make sure, oh, now I've stuck it the other way. I've got a point in the middle, but that's totally fine. No, I haven't. Oh, see, when I looked at that, I looked at the warm hugs and thought that was the top part, but the little dots. So use the little dots as your guide to pop it down as kind of square as you can. Like that. Now I'm going to just add a mini dimensional on my Christmas tree. Must have Tombow on my fingers. Everything is sticking to me. And we'll pop him in there. And then finally, before we do our insert, we're going to use this Happy Christmas greeting. Now I'm looking around me and I can see I don't have my little strip of Whisper White, so I'm just going to grab my scrap bag and locate one. So I always have this bag of scrap pieces of Whisper White from where I cut kits and inserts, and I'm looking for a thin layer, thin strip. That one's got glue on it. There we go, there's a whole bunch. So when I cut all the inserts, I always get left with these little strips, and they're really handy. I use them all the time. I never throw any of them away. I keep them, and we quite often use them on our cards. So I go rooting around in my scrap bag to find these strips. So let's pop Happy Christmas down here, like that. I do like this little font. It's quite dainty. and snip off the edges just to create a straight little banner there with our greeting on. And then I'm going to layer part of it over here, but I'm going to pop it on some mini dimensionals. So I'm going to kind of have it overhanging that Mossy Meadow tag or label. Take the backs off. Oops. Sticking to me. And then we're just going to pop it here. Like that. And there we go. Card is done. That was quite quick, quite straightforward. So we'll just do an insert. So have my piece here. Let's have a look what else is in the stamp set that I might like to use. Let's use the So Very Merry because I do love that. So just pull that one out. Locate a block. Do with a good clean my blocks, and I think I'm going to do it in red. Line it up with my grid paper. It's always good if your paper's straight to start with. It's a good indication on that you're going to get a good straight stamped image. So stamp that one down there, and I think let's have a couple of trees. Maybe down at the bottom here. Oh, it's hard stamping when you can't have your head right over. Oh, that was a fail. Let's use the emergency side. See, look, I am human. I do make mistakes. So let's just, what I like to do is line up my stamp with the bottom of my paper and then move it up very carefully. There we go. Now let's try and do this a little bit better. Use two hands when you're stamping. Oh, and that was another failure, but what I'm going to do is try and go straight in over the top, even though I've got a real job to see where I'm going. Oh, it's a bit smudgy, but it will be fine. It will be fine. And again, maybe I need to press a bit harder. So not the best. Definitely not the best. It didn't come out like that one, did it? But there we go. So that is our insert. Let's pop a bit of Tombow around that one and then add it to our card. Don't be frightened of making mistakes, guys, because you know it happens to us all. We like to call them happy accidents. You know, I'm not 100% pleased with that, but it's not a massive failure. And if all things went totally wrong, you could just stamp this on a separate piece of cardstock, cut it out and stick it over the top. So like I've said, it's always a happy accident and there's always a way around it. So thank you for joining me for the second video for my Warm Hugs class. And I will be back very soon with the third video and we're going to be making a 3D project. So take care and speak with you soon. Bye for now.